This hand seems fine. We'll keep this. Okay, opponent has the Gemstone Caverns with the luck counter. So they're probably playing, yeah, the Tron deck. So let's see here. We could... I think we were supposed to put Arbor Elf into play first, and then we'll have access to 4 mana on the next turn. Pretty sure that's the way that works. Oh, this is a dismember for the Arbor Elf immediately. So that stunts our mana. We should still be able to put the Auriok Champion out next turn. Okay, Maze Mind Tome for the opponent. Along with the Urza's Tower. So, let's see here. I believe they exile the mine out of their hand. They have 3 cards left in hand, and they scry to the bottom. Okay, so if we go get Temple Garden, then we can put Utopia Sprawl onto it, name white, and play the Auriok Champion. Or, Ahsoka. If you look at this art, I think that she definitely resembles the Jedi that we've seen recently in The Mandalorian. You're up early, Morgancorn. Glad you could join us. Another Arbor Elf. So let's see here. How much mana do we have access to exactly? So this gives us access to 2. And this would be potentially another 2, so 4 total. 3 once we minus on the Utopia Sprawl. So we should be able to put Heliod out this turn. And then next turn we can play Walking Ballista for 1. It's lunchtime here? Alright, fair enough, fair enough. I'm happy you're here too. We could also put the Utopia Sprawl onto the Temple Garden here, which would give us more value with the Arbor Elf. I know, right? This is my 3rd match ever with the deck, and I really, really enjoyed it the first 2 times I played it. Hey, thanks Philip MTG. This is definitely the type of deck that I enjoy. Feels like I'm putting a puzzle together as I play, trying to figure out my lines. Opponent does have quite a bit of mana here, so they could... Okay, it's just a Karn Great Creator. That does mean that Walking Ballista is not going to be able to activate, however. So that is a problem. And we find another land off the top. I think Walking Ballista would be lethal here, except for the Karn. But it is what it is. We could put the Walking Ballista into play, as well as the Arbor Elf, give the Auriok Champion plus 2/2, and then smack the Karn for 3. And I think we would also be able to give the Auriok Champion lifelink, which would put a counter onto potentially the Walking Ballista. I do believe we are in still just a ton of trouble here. All right, set up our yields there, say always yes. Okay, opponent is pausing here for a moment on the Heliod trigger. Or is that me not knowing how my triggers work? Okay, that's my fault. Okay, we'll smack the Karn for 3 and we'll give the champion lifelink. I think that we do not want to put the counter on the Walking Ballista. The Karn... No, it wouldn't work because that has +1/+1 counters. I was just thinking if the Karn made it into a creature, but it specifically says non-creature artifacts, and this creature has +1/+1 counters on it anyways, so... Alright, let's leave it at that. Not that we can do anything else on our turn anyway. Okay, Cavern of Souls. They've got quite a mix of lands here. Still do have quite a bit of mana available, though. A total of 6 when it's counting Eldrazi spells, but that is not enough to cast a... what is the name of that card? Let's go ahead and put this onto the champ. All is Dust is the card I'm afraid of. I would get to keep my Walking Ballista, but I would lose everything else. Okay, they made another critter. And we just get a land off the top. That's unfortunate. So if we attack with Auriok Champion here, they can double block. Awkward position here. Can't really attack with the Arbor Elf here, but they would have to double block the champion in order to take it down, so we could knock the Karn for 3 potentially. I think we have to get that Karn off the board. Cannot ping. Cannot activate the Walking Ballista, unfortunately, or the game would already be over. This is a bad attack, but I need to get that Karn off the board. Hopefully I can draw something good off the top and regrow. Okay, so they're going to kill the Walking Ballista. Let us keep the Auriok Champion here. Oh, those War of the Spark Planeswalkers really broke the game, broke parity. Alright, so we're going to give our critters lifelink. Not because it really matters, not because our life total matters, but in order to put some +1/+1 counters on the Arbor Elf. Okay, so they're going to Exile the Maze Mine Tome, which means I do not need to bother giving the Auriok Champion lifelink. I think that I probably would have waited to do that until I had targeted the Auriok Champion with lifelink. Now I'm just going to target the Arbor Elf instead and be able to do more. Okay, so we got 1 damage coming in at the Karn, and a trade here, and then 2 counters from the Heliod. They reveal a Reality Smasher, which is going to be quite a good blocker for them. Or they could just smash my face, but if they did that, they'd probably lose the Karn. Another Matter Reshaper. Strong blocker, that. And the Karn is going for something at this point. They get a Grafdigger's Cage. Okay, so that means Collected Company is no longer a hit. Grafdigger's Cage does cancel out the 4-mana instant. And a Walking Ballista of their own. Okay. Should have put that counter onto the Arbor Elf there. That's my mistake. Hopefully I get a creature off the top so I can make my Arbor Elf big enough to swing past the Matter Reshaper. Okay, Eladamri's Call. Let's see here. No, this is good. Eladamri's Call works. So I can call, and I can get rid of the Walking Ballista or the Karn. Pretty good draw. So let's see here. What do we got? I could get the Spike Feeder, which would gain Unbound Life. Seems pretty good. Can I win, though? I could get the... Alright, Mark Chalice. The opponent has a Karn the Great Creator on the board. I cannot activate Walking Ballista's activated abilities. So I could get Skyclave Apparition to get the Karn. I'm not sure if they have an out to the infinite life is the thing. They can attack with big dudes, they can get rid of our board, but can they win through infinite life? It's all good, Mike, it happens. I was just able to snap back so quickly because someone had made a comment very similar only a little bit earlier. I'm kind of leaning towards the infinite life here. And this can also grow the Arbor Elf. So we can get that up to a 4. Okay, let's just go ahead and start with this. Okay, so let's see here. I want to... I'm going to have to do that next time. All right. Save targets, always yield. Okay, so we're going to click this for a bit. Gain a bunch of life. Now the opponent is going to be able to do large amounts of damage in a small amount of time. So we are going to want to set ourselves up with a fairly high life total here to start. Ooh, Faithless Looting in Narset? That sounds almost as bad as Brainstorm into Narset. I guess they're about the same, right? Both ways you lose 3 cards. I suppose you're right. They could have killed the Spike Feeder with the Walking Ballista. But if they did that, then I would have a better attack at the Karn. They might need to keep it back as a way to kill, as a way to block. So unfortunately, we are already at 13 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock here. I have been spending a bit of time considering my plays. I'm going to have to play a bit faster here. So we're going to stop gaining life, and we're going to move on to the attack step. Alright, we'll attack Karn and pass a turn. Okay, they lose both their dudes and get to keep their Karn. They have another Karn Great Creator go to hand here. Opponent sent us a little message there, enjoy, while we were comboing. Not sure if that's with respects to enjoying the combo. Oh, save target on the Spike Feeder. And we get Prismatic Vista, that's a nothing. Enjoy while you can, yeah. Let's see here. So the Auriok Champion makes a pretty good attack here. We can pump it up with the Spike Feeder. The question is, should we be attacking Karn or them at this point? We can also get the Arbor Elf up to a 5/5 quite easily. We could get it up to a 6/6 quite easily too, actually. But we would lose the combo potential of the Spike Feeder if we did that. Give both lifelink. That will be a good way to gain a bunch of life. Yep. Well, the counters would go on post damage, so I have to make sure they still have enough toughness to survive the combat. Hi, Sapphire. I'm not too sure if Tron can beat Infinite Life, but they definitely have more time on their clock than us. So they can definitely clock us out if we spend too much time gaining life. Okay, they've made their blocks, it looks like. We'll grow... Nope, okay, they changed their mind. Yep, Karn Liberated could restart the game. But I think more likely they were just waiting for us to take time off our clock. I don't think they can beat Unbound Life, but it looks like they're deciding to play it out. Okay, I think this is probably the best of all worlds as far as blocks go. We're just going to smack him for 4 here, and we'll gain a bunch of life. Okay. So I did undo my setups that I had earlier with the Spike Feeder Heliod combo, saving targets, so that I could switch my targets to the Arbor Elf. Now I have two 6/6s, which are bigger than most of what my opponent can present. However, they could get like an Ensnaring Bridge or something. There it is, Ensnaring Bridge, in order to stop me from attacking with my big critters. I can still attack with Spike Feeder, but unless I get, what's name? I'm missing a creature in order to finish that off. Okay, let's go ahead and thin the deck. Apparition would be the perfect card to draw. Either that or Walking Ballista. Oh, that's a Walking Ballista, isn't it? Okay, let's start with an attack all. Oh, the only creature that can attack is a Spike Feeder, of course. Okay. I knew that. Opponent thinks it's ridiculous. Okay, so they blocked. We're good to go. Auriok Champion will get the Walking Ballista up to a 2/2. And then Heliod will finish it. So opponent is making us do the full clicks, which is taking time off our clock. So they are definitely angling for that timeout. All right, I'll read chat as soon as this combo is finished. I don't want to take any time off my clock that I don't have to. Just wish my Walking Ballista was where my Auriok Champion was, so I wouldn't have to move my mouse over so far. Okay, we got there. Yeah, Spike Feeder gave us the time we needed in order to finish, so that was pretty decent. Let's see here. We'll bring in Damping Sphere. Path is pretty good. Skyclave is pretty good. So we could bring in either of those. Ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You drew the cards that you put in your deck. Ugh. So frustrating. I mean, how many Ranger-Captains of Eos do you even have in your deck? Ugh. Alright, sorry. The Salt sustains me. I have a really good time with that. I wouldn't mind taking some number of Collected Company out of the deck, knowing that they have the Grafdigger's Cage. You'd have to put that one up in the chat. There's no way that I know what that one does off the top of my head. Auriok Champion's kind of so-so. So we could take out some number of the Champ. I would like to take out Champ actually for Apparition, so let's go ahead and do that right now. We'll take out 2 Collected Companies for the Grafdigger's Cage. And I think we're good with that. Could bring in Path. Scavenging Ooze isn't very good. So we could bring in 1 Path for that. I like the Giver of Ruins here. I think I'm fine. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. What a card. Does nothing for 20 turns? Damn. All right, let's submit. Okay. 10 minutes left on the clock here. We're going to have to win this game if we're going to have a chance. This hand looks fine. We'll keep. Opponent is mulliganing to 3 cards. And we managed to keep a decent 7. So we might be able to sneak through this even though we spent 15 minutes on game 1. Okay. They found 3 they like. And they have Expedition Map. Let's see here, we do not get the elf here, so let's just go ahead and put a Utopia Sprawl in our forest. We'll call white. And pass the turn, hit 6. And we'll hit 6 again. Okay, so opponent has Tron with their terrible hand. So let's see here. We can play Spike Feeder and then go for Collected Company. Let's go ahead and thin. Yep, they go ahead and use the Expedition Map. Urza's Tower, no surprises. So now they have access to 7 mana with 2 cards in hand. There's a Thought-Knot Seer, which is going to take our Collected Company. Oh, thanks, Sapphire. I did miss that. All right, well, thanks a lot for showing up, Morgan Corn. See you around. Heliod off the top is pretty cool. So I think we play Heliod this turn, then win with Walking Ballista next turn is the plan. Thank you. Save targets, always yield. Oh, did they get another Thought-Knot Seer? Yeah, sure, whatever, we'll take 4. Yeah, but at that point it might already be too late. Okay, there's a Karn, which turns off Walking Ballista. Yeah, no kidding. You can never count Tron out. So they choose Walking Ballista here. They have a ton of mana. Walking Ballista X is 3. So this is pretty much GG. I mean, I could gain Unbound Life, but I would lose to time. Ranger-Captain, huh? Alright, well the Ranger-Captain would have been pretty good, except for the Karn here. So we're not able to win with Walking Ballista. So let's see here. We could go get the thing that gives us protection, but the Walking Ballista would kill it. I'm going to concede here so that we can have more time for Game 3. Okay, this is a good hand. We'll keep. Opponent is also beginning with 7. But no luck land. No gemstone. Alright, let's go get Temple Garden, pay the life, Arbor Elf, and pass. Okay, Expedition map. Interesting. I wasn't thinking about the Damping Sphere interacting with our lands. So we could put out Heliod this turn, but we wouldn't be ready for Walking Ballista for a turn or two. Kind of want to put the Damping Sphere out as a surprise, so they don't realize the Expedition map isn't going to get them everything they want. There's the Utopia Sprawl that is going to make the Damping Sphere not so good for us. However, we can collect a company this turn. Could we win with Walking Ballista this turn? If we had drawn a land, I think so. Because we would have gotten 4, 5, and we need 6 mana. No, because we have to cast the Utopia Sprawl anyway. We could put Walking Ballista out for 2 and pass the turn, but then they have access to all their mana. If we put Walking Ballista out on 1, we're going to have to attack with the Heliod. That should be fine. I think you're right. So we put the Utopia Sprawl onto the Snow-Covered Forest. Make 4 mana, Walking Ballista, Damping Sphere. Okay. If we can attack, we should have it. They have 3 mana. Okay, they could have something going on here that would be troublesome. Let's start with an attack. Hey, it's all good. We accept backseating here. Say target. Always yield. Nice. All right, I'll be checking out the chat as soon as I finish this combo. Still have plenty of time on the clock, honestly, 4 minutes 30, but I want to get this done quickly. I think I probably should have given the Arbor Elf lifelink as well, so I could have put an extra counter onto the Walking Ballista. But if they had something like Dismember, they would have killed the Walking Ballista anyway. All right, we win the match. This hand looks great. Let's keep it. We start with Arbor Elf here, so that we can untap lands when it's not summoning sick. Gotten you 10 trophies so far. Wow. Congratulations on 10 trophies. That's very impressive. Okay, they take the Heliod there. Makes sense. We are actually going to have just an obscene amount of mana now. I kind of want to just like Eladamri's Call for Walking Ballista and just make a huge Walking Ballista. Is that wrong? So we put Sprawl on Forest, tap Forest for mana, untap Forest, put Sprawl onto Forest, and then we have like just a ton of mana. But we don't have anything really to do with it yet besides Walking Ballista, unfortunately. Getting a Ranger-Captain might be better. Ooh, I do like that. That's a pretty good one. I like that. Okay. One, two, three, four. So we wouldn't be able to cast it, unfortunately. We could only cast a 2-drop. Okay, they only have a single River of Tears here to counter our spell with. So that's 4 mana, so we can play the other Temple Garden tapped. Opponent's Thoughtseize was very strong there. Okay, so they have triple blue now, and they'll have black mana on our turn. Another Utopia Sprawl. So we can make more mana to increase the size of our Walking Ballista. Yeah. And also, we don't really know what the opponent is playing. You don't see River of Tears very often. Okay, so they're going to make their move. Gain control of our Walking Ballista. Okay. So we're going to not let that happen. And we'll hit for another 3. Ah, okay, I read that. I read the land wrong. Pendelhaven. Alright, might as well play that. Yeah, well, it's pretty easy to make a deck with Uro. Okay, opponent is passing here. They probably have, what's the name? Here it comes. Cryptic Command. So they're going to tap our team. And we'll play a Windswept Heath so we can thin the deck. Hopefully find a good target card off the top. Huge for us. Okay. Tell me more. I do like that they were forced to use a cryptic command without bouncing the Mystic Sanctuary or countering one of our spells. They are under significant pressure here. And we'll have to start dealing with our threats very soon. Awesome. Like the sound of that for sure. Oh, and they go to 4 for this. Okay, here's Uro, so that's going to gain them life. But they're not going to be able to Cryptic Command this turn. One, two, three, four, five, 6. They are going to start getting Field of the Dead tokens next turn. So this is the last time we're going to smack them. Walking Ballista, please. Ugh, okay. Draw a card. And we got another land. Okay. No problem. They can... Let's see here. They can't quite put Uro in yet. Fetch land lets them do it. They'd have to fetch a basic. Oh, they have a Jace? Okay. So Jace isn't good enough. They're looking for a card. They found a fetch land, so they can make 2 zombies, which I think gives them another turn. Oh, we get the Walking Ballista, though. Nice. Okay, I think we still attack first. To force them to fetch. And then I can activate the Ranger-Captain before I play the Walking Ballista, and that should kill them. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can just go ahead and use this anyways. Doesn't matter. Okay. Activate. Okay. Yeah. That Ranger-Captain did a ton of work. No joke. Alright, so let's see here. Rest in Peace is so-so. Veil of Summer seems really good. We could play Choke. They were definitely playing islands. Auriok Champion doesn't seem very good. Scavenging Ooze is so-so. If we're bringing in Choke and Veil of Summer, we're going to want to count some number of collected companies. Choke, Veil, and Skyclave. Skyclave does hit Uro, does hit Jace. But we are going to need to take 3 more cards out. Makes sense. I just personally have a distaste for the card collected company. Not going to get into it too much here. Just in general, not a fan of the card. Ugh, do not like this hand one bit. I know, right? But it's such a good deck. And I've played Collected Company for years and years and years, so when the hit nothing on Collected Company happens, I mean, it's happened to me many times before, so I'll get through it. Alright, so I kind of like the Conclave Mentor when we have Walking Ballista. I'm kind of actually leaning towards getting rid of the Apparition here. Apparition is going to be much better late anyway. Greatness at any cost, that's right. Arbor Elf. Oh, that's a nice draw. Alright, Prismatic Vista, I think, for Forest and Arbor Elf. Or we could go with the Windswept first and start with a dual land. Okay, Aether Gust on the Arbor Elf. I think that we put that to the bottom. We're not interested in drawing that anymore. Okay, perfect. Skyclave, nice. We got rid of one of those earlier. I'm happy to see one turned up. I know, right? There's no way I would have Aether Gusted like that, but maybe they were afraid of me getting to 4 mana. But if I did, they could have just Aether Gusted the Collected Company, right? Yeah, definitely. There's not too much else we can do. We could play the Walking Ballista on one, but that doesn't seem very good. We can get more value out of Walking Ballista when we have a Conclave Mentor on the board. Okay, it looks like they're passing here. Get another Prismatic Vista. We're going to attack and then play Ranger-Captain. This is so that they don't have a target to take control of with the Archmage Charm. Although they could just counter the Ranger-Captain. Okay, then that is exactly what they do. They did have the Archmage Charm. Yeah, Ranger-Captain is super good against this deck. Wasn't realizing just how much of a powerhouse it could be. But making yourself safe from your opponent's interaction in your combo deck is OP. Okay, so no Jace here. Oh, we get Choke. Alright, so no way I want to throw my Choke into their Cryptic Command. I'll throw my Walking Ballista instead. Uro. They have 2 untapped blue mana currently. Okay, but they didn't find a land, so we might be able to choke them out here. Oh yeah, definitely jamming the choke. Nice, it resolved. We'll pay the life for Temple Garden so we can draw a card with the Horizon Canopy. Oh, are they passing? That seems good for us. No, they're sticking in their second main. Okay, here they pass. Okay, let's draw a card. Giver of Ruins, not bad. And another Temple Garden. Kind of meh. Alright, let's just attack, play Giver of Ruins, and pass. This is a tell that we do not have Collected Company, otherwise we would have put this in untapped. Now the question becomes, do we start attacking with the Giver of Ruins? Okay, they have a Thoughtseize, so they lose 2 life and take away the Skyclave Apparition. That does tap down their Watery Grave, however, which is good for us. Okay, we get Heliod. That's pretty good. Yeah, and I think especially with the Heliod coming down, we can give the Conclave Mentor lifelink, gain 2 life. And if they want to kill a thing, oh, they're going to Aether Gust the choke. Okay, that's a pretty good move from the opponent. We'll put that on top. We'll hit them for 3. And then put a counter on probably the Giver of Ruins, I think. Which turns it into a 3/4 because of the Conclave Mentor. So opponent is under quite a bit of pressure, but they have managed to untap. However, if I had put the tokens onto the Conclave Mentor here, I could have given the Conclave Mentor protection from a color to make it unblockable, and I think that might have been better. However, we're not going to be able to kill the opponent if they put an Uro into play because they're going to gain 3 life. Yeah. That is one of the problems with this format. I find that the chat takes a little while to show up. So if I'm trying to play quickly, a turn cycle could have passed before a message shows up. It is what it is. Okay, here's the choke we knew about. We're going to play that. And then we're going to give the Conclave Mentor protection from blue and hit him. This is still a 2-turn clock. Thank you. And we'll put it on the Conclave Mentor this time. Okay, opponent has this turn. Oh, no, they're at 5. Okay, I thought we had them in 1 hit. Not quite so. Okay, they are going to be able to hit us for some damage, gain some life. So this is still a game. And they find Field of the Dead. Okay, but no zombies yet. So we can hit them for half our life total and make a 6/6. Or we could hit them for 7. Okay, no, they have a land, so they make a zombie. Spike Feeder is lethal here. Oh, they have Bloodchief Thirst for the Giver of Ruins. Too bad. Spike Feeder no longer lethal. They can block with Zombo. Walking Ballista should be good. Oh, there's the Spike Feeder too. Oh man, we called it right off the top of our deck. So yeah, we play the Spike Feeder. We have access to Unbound Life. Our Conclave Mentor and Spike Feeder are both infinitely big. If opponent is kind, they will scoop here. But we are quite a bit of time behind the opponent. And I believe that they are actually down a game. So scooping doesn't make too much sense. Yeah, I'm going to spend a little bit of time here to make the Spike Feeder big enough to block Uro. Never saw an opponent that just scoop. It doesn't happen too often, but I found that when I was playing Yawgmoth, it happened quite a bit. Oh, they have the Abrupt Decay on the choke. Okay. So they get to untap their lands again. With 4 cards in hand going up to 5. Alright, we'll stop here. They have the Fatal Push for the Conclave Mentor. So we're going to want to grow our Spike Feeder quite a bit. We'll just turn it into like a 20/20, I guess. So this will get it to 19, and when the Mentor dies, it'll go to 20. That makes him another zombie. So we really need that Walking Ballista, and we don't quite have enough mana right now. Oh, geez. That's a pain. So I have to either spend a bunch of time gaining life so they can't kill us with Uro and zombies, or just accept that we've basically lost this game that we should never lose. You don't think it's worthwhile to make a bunch of gain a bunch of life? It's true, we don't have much time. This is game 2, we won game 1. And there's the Jace. Collect a company? Well, that does get us the win if we draw a Walking Ballista, of which we have one more in the deck, but unfortunately, opponent untaps here. Okay, they thought seize us, see our forest. Get another zombie. Oh, that's a Mystic Sanctuary. And they put, I guess, Cryptic Command back on top. Yep. Cryptic locked, just move on. Yeah, because they can draw the Cryptic with the Uro. Alright. I don't mind bringing in one Rest in Peace. I think this hand is fine. We'll keep. Yeah, it's just because I've played Collect a Company so long that I've seen too many whiffs. I've played the card for a very, very long time, since it was released. I started playing Devoted Druid combo immediately when they got the Vizier. Vizier of Remedies. Played that deck for years and years. Don't know about the new pod yet. Yeah. I really think that this deck here, the Heliod combo deck, is the collected combo deck. Let's see here. Go get Forest. Play Arbor Elf, pass. And is this a Fatal Push? Nope, a Thoughtseize. So we do not get to use our Veil of Summer here, unfortunately. And if they don't take Veil, they can play around it in the future. They do take Veil. Okay, we get Collected Company off the top, so we can hopefully play that next turn. I think we'll just play Spike Feeder Go. but for same creature type. Okay, well that makes it way more difficult to play with. Oh, they have another Thoughtseize, and they aren't even playing the same art. Bye-bye, Collected Company. Okay, Horizon Canopy. We'll play the Windswept Heath. Let's see here. We'll go ahead and play a 2/2 Walking Ballista. Could Goblins play it? Because there are Goblin combos now. Okay, opponent passing here with 3 mana. They could be aiming to take the Walking Ballista away from us. Just a Utopia Sprawl. Deck isn't giving us many good hits here. But opponent's only at 11 life. Let's start with an attack. It is annoying to play in Moto. Normally I would not play this type of deck on Moto. I'm wondering if I should go ahead and activate the Walking Ballista here before damage. I think I'm going to pass on that. Last time I did that, they ended up trying to take the Walking Ballista, and this way they might be afraid of Collected Company. So I'm just going to pass with 4 mana open. And if they do nothing, then I can charge up Walking Ballista. Okay, so now we can charge up Walking Ballista. They're at a virtual 3. Oh yeah, sorry Sammy. Can't post links in the chat unless you're a mod or a VIP. Okay, there's the Fatal Push on the Walking Ballista, so we're going to go ahead and use it. Put the opponent down to 3. Ooh. That would have been a good line as well. You're right. And we could have put Utopia Sprawl on a land. It was basically free. But it would take me off of Collected Company mana just briefly. I think it probably still would have been better. No, because we were repping Collected Company in hand. That's why I did not want to use the Utopia Sprawl. Okay, they're putting Fatal Push on top of their library in their main step here. So they're going to need a way to draw it. Okay, and if they have a black land, then they can get rid of the Spike Feeder. Yeah, and they do. Flooded Strand. That also gains them 3 life, which is quite good in this situation. But since they're allowing me to untap, I can put those Spike Feeder counters onto the Arbor Elf. Just wondering if I should Utopia Sprawl. If I Utopia Sprawl, they could kill the Spike Feeder in response, and I would only be able to move over one of the counters. But I think that would probably still be fine. Okay, so let's see here. We'll put that to white, I suppose, and we'll move on to combat. Okay, they take 3, and we'll pass the turn. We could try and draw something with Horizon Canopy here. We have 2 mana open, but I think, again, I prefer to represent Collected Company. All right, Flu. Thanks for the follow. Fluffle. Opponent's down to 1, but they're going to be able to pump themselves back up with the Uro here. They also get the Collected Company back. And I believe they have Fatal Push in hand that we know about. Okay, so here's the Uro. We can Skyclave that. All right, I think I want to draw a card here. We get Conclave Mentor. Interesting. That would have been a decent play last turn. One of the few cards we could play for 2 mana. Eladamri's Call. Does that change anything here? Let's see here. So we have 4, 5, 6 mana. Open the turn with Skyclave. I'm just thinking about how much mana we have here. But yeah, we Skyclave the Uro. We hit them. They... what's the name? They Fatal Push the Spike Feeder. And then we hit them for 2. They have Collected Company available. Allows us to play around Mana Leak. Cool. Okay. Skyclave. Counter target spell with Archmage Charm. Okay. Think that this might be a close match that's going to end up in a loss. We can't really attack with Arbor Elf anymore. Yeah, that's probably all we can do. The Uro attacking at this point, though, is closing the door on the game. Gaining 3 life, drawing a card, playing an extra land. It's just too much. They have Cryptic Command to tap our team. Bye-bye Eladamri's Call. But that does put them back down to 5. Okay, so Fatal Push on the Conclave Mentor. Yeah, that happens. Gain 2 life. And they Field of Ruin the Temple Garden instead of the land that's enchanted with the Utopia Sprawl. Oh, because it's target non-basic? That makes sense. Sometimes I think Field of Ruin reads too much like Ghost Quarter. Okay, there's the Fatal Push. Gain 2 life. If we had tapped the other land for mana there, we could have put a +1/+1 counter on the Arbor Elf, which would have been better. And we get another Spike Feeder. Yeah. They would also like to do that, but they can't because it's against the rules. So we have 4, 5, 6 mana. Yeah, that doesn't really make any difference. Let's just play Spike Feeder. Do we attack for the 1? Might as well, right? That's right. We're not here to not cast Spike Feeder. Otherwise, we wouldn't have it in the deck. Womp. Late lunch break equals Cooper stream. Wow. Glad that you were able to make it, friendly. We're getting a little bit beat up here. This is second match of the league. Oh, Temple Garden. Come on, Dak. Opponent just letting us attack here. That's the game. I would say so. They're going to be able to womp us. They have Cryptic Command in hand. The first match went well for us. We were playing against Eldrazi Tron, and opponent got a little bit salty about the deck we were playing. Morning, handsome. How you doing today? And another forest. All right. So we have a 1-land hand with Arbor Elf on the play. Do we keep these? I'm normally a kind of person that likes to keep 1-land hands. We have mana dorks. We can go Arbor Elf into Conclave Mentor, and then we have a couple turns to draw a land. Fair enough. And I absolutely accept your advice. In the spirit which it is given. I'm pretty on the fence about it. I lean towards keeping 1-land hands if I possibly can. It does it that. It has those things. Okay, our opponent is mulliganing. They're down to 5 cards so far. That could mean that they're on Tron or that they're unlucky. What cards do I need? Lands or spells or both? Basic Plains. Aether Vial. Okay. So Basic Plains Aether Vial usually leans towards Death and Taxes. So we get another Arbor Elf here. I'm actually leaning towards just playing the 2 Arbor Elves. So I have a bunch of mana, and then we can go from there. We could play Conclave Mentor, but then we're stuck at 2 mana next turn if we don't draw land. And if we manage to draw our aura, then we're just going to be making ludicrous amounts of mana. As is, we have access to 4 mana right now. So we could potentially play 2 Conclave Mentors. We could Skyclave Apparate the Stoneforge Mystic, which might actually be quite good. They've mulliganed down quite low, and they're good at grabbing Batterskull. So apparating the Mystic means they wouldn't be able to put the Batterskull into play. You think on Vial, huh? Ooh, we got Spike Feeder. Death Taxes cannot beat Unbound Life. So we could play Heliod into Spike Feeder. Oh, they definitely should hit our land. But they only have Ghost Quarter, so we would just be able to go get Forest. That would take us off white mana. So let's put the Heliod into play now, while we still can. If they have Arbiter, we just lose the game. It's true. Yeah, that's true, and that's one of the reasons I want to play the Heliod now, so that I can get it into play. Because we can get the Spike Feeder into play if they Ghost Quarter us. Probably. Well, not yet. Well, they let us untap. So now we have access to 3, 4, 5 mana. So we could play Conclave Mentor Spike Feeder. Conclave Mentor Spike Feeder gives us an army of unbound size. So let's do that. Okay, so before the Aether Vial hits, we're going to make a bunch of green mana. The only thing I respect from the opponent is Lean and Arbiter with the Ghost Quarter. Thalia, that's no problem. They could have Path to Exile, but because of the Conclave Mentor, our Spike Feeder is going to come in as a 3/3. So I think their best path target is probably the Mentor itself, which would still allow us to gain Unbound Life. Alright, so I'm going to be ignoring chat for a little bit as I do this combo thing. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves. Okay, we're going to start by growing the Spike Feeder. And see if the opponent will concede to a giant Spike Feeder with Unbound Life. If not, I'll start growing my other creatures. Every time opponent hesitates, I'm thinking like, oh, they're just going to concede as they realize that I've made an army of unbound creatures. But it looks like they've just gone ahead and F6'd here. So I'm going to make an army of 2020s. Okay, now let's see here. I'm going to change targets. So let's see here. Turn off auto yields. Put a counter on Conclave Mentor. Save target, always yield. Okay, let's see here. Turn off auto yields. Now let's make some 5/5 elves. Save target, always yield. Turn off auto yields. Target Spike Feeder. Save target, always yield. Okay, turn off auto yields. Target this one. Always yield, but don't save the targets this time. Okay, let's pass here now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 creatures blocking, 5 creatures attacking. So with the Skyclave Apparition, we take out 1 creature, but we also take out one of our own creatures. So if we get land off the top, we should be able to kill them. But they also have the Aether Vial here, so they might be able to cheat another creature in. But we do get the land we were looking for. Let's go ahead and put that into play. Let's start with an Apparition. And we'll target the Giver of Ruins. Okay, so they need a 3-drop to stay in the game, otherwise they are dead on board. They could have Flicker Wisp here to flicker the Giver. No, that's the Archon of Emeria. Okay. So we cannot play any further spells this turn, but that's fine, and they have to block with all of their creatures or they're dead. Yeah, how are you going to activate that Stoneforge Mystic with 1 mana there, buddy? No, opponent's in a bad place. They didn't block the final Arbor Elf? You not realize how my combo works, buddy? Alright, we're going to do the... Oh, right, we have to undo auto yields to save target. Whatever, this doesn't take very long. We have to go to 24 here to cancel out the Germ. And this still keeps the Spike Feeder healthy enough to kill the Thalia. Let's go to damage. Okay. Very good for us. Oh, that is a little bit sad. Every once in a while you get to see Heliod getting into the red zone. Just checking out on chat there. Glad that y'all are having a bit of fun, having some conversations while I was distracted. Let's get back into it. What happened to the spirits? Well, you know, we started with holiday spirits and now we're Heliod for the holidays. So let's see here. You were thinking... Oh, absolutely. You can just hit exclamation mark YouTube. Yeah, I don't think any of the other cards are good. Let's see here. So, Ranger-Captain isn't going to be as hot against the opponent as some other cards. Auriok Champion actually doesn't seem very hot at all. Utopia Sprawl is a bit of a risk because they're playing so many land destruction cards. Oh, no, that's fine. Yeah, you can do that, handsome. Scavenging Ooze doesn't seem that hot. We can probably take that out. Alright, let's submit before we get timed out on our sideboard here. Alright, so we got 2 lands. Giver of Ruins, Walking Ballista, Collected Company. This hand is slow. But if these Collected Companies hit gas, if we're able to get that land for the Skyclave Apparition, this hand definitely has legs. You think this hand is a mull, do you, Sapphire? Doesn't go anywhere quick. Ooh, this hand is way better. Let's keep this one. The question is, what do I throw here? Do I throw the Utopia Sprawl because of the risks of playing Sprawl against this deck? Yeah, this 6 is amazing. We're keeping the 6. I just don't know what to throw back. You think the feeder? Go for that turn 2 Collected Company. Oh, they're running Sheffet Dunes. Okay, Phyrexian Revoker is going to turn off the Arbor Elf. That's unfortunate. So the Sheffet Dunes generally means that they play fewer land destruction spells. Eladamri's Call. Okay. So we could call for Heliod. Yeah, I like that plan. Okay. And then potentially we could collect a company on the turn after that. Just being a little bit careful there about which forest I select. Name white mana. And do we attack with the Arbor Elf to try and kill the Revoker? I think we just leave it back as a blocker. Okay, here's a Stoneforge Mystic. So they're going to go get something. Don't like trading damage, that makes sense. They go get Batterskull. Also, very difficult to race against a Batterskull. We're going to want to be comboing. Makes sense, they don't attack there. So we get to call. What are we calling for? So we could go get Skyclave Apparition to get their Stoneforge. You think Ballista? Yeah, Ballista definitely. Because you can't collect a company into a Ballista. That makes sense. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So now we have... Ooh, we got the Skyclave off the top too. Nice. Yeah, that's true. So we could play Ballista, kill Phyrexian Revoker, but then we would only have 2 more mana. Main phase slam the Coco, huh? Because that could just give us some Unbound Life. We only get Heliod. Well, I mean, that's collect a company for you. But we're pretty close to winning. One, two, three, four. Kill the Phyrexian Revoker. Still don't have the lethal yet. But if they're going to spend time doing Stoneforge Mystic things, we're not too worried about it. Oh, here's a Phyrexian Revoker again. So we're going to need that Skyclave Apparition to get rid of this Revoker. I know, right? Why do I even bother playing it? I just love the card so much that I can't stop playing it. That's what's going on here. Another forest, okay. So we have, let's see here. This mana here will allow us to play the Skyclave Apparition. And then we could Skyclave for this Revoker, which would let us untap this mana. Then we can go for 4, but we can't Walking Ballista this one. Okay, so we Skyclave this one, and then make a Walking Ballista. I know, right? But what would we even get with it? That card is busted, though. It's almost Deathrite Shaman level. So I think I just Skyclave the Revoker that's naming Ballista, play Ballista, pass. We are opening up the Ballista to a path to exile, which I don't like. But I think we pretty much have to get out on the board. Yeah, I know. We have to get the Revoker that's naming Walking Ballista. And then I think we wait on the other Walking Ballista till we have more mana. This does mean the Giver of Ruins is going to be available for protection from now on. Oh, a Skyclave Apparition from the opponent. They can take our Heliod away. Yep, bye-bye Suncrowned. Okay, another Arbor Elf. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll play Walking Ballista. I know. Good thing indeed. Okay. So no reason to use the Walking Ballista yet, because they could just give it protection right now. Better to just play another Arbor Elf, so that when we get a chance, we can kill that Phyrexian Revoker and start making tons of mana, and our Walking Ballista will be a champ. Oh, they got the Ghost Quarter there, so they can get rid of our forest with the Utopia Sprawl. It's going to cut down our mana by quite a bit. Because we were just about to unlock the Arbor Elves. That does cut their deck off of 1 land. It does seem that way. But that is the reason why Death and Taxes is tier 1. Because of these options. Okay, here's Leonin Arbiter, which means the Ghost Quarter is straight up going to kill our forest. That also means that they cannot use the Stoneforge Mystic. Not sure an attack would be super good for you. Because I would snap block that Phyrexian Revoker with my Skyclave Apparition. Okay, we get Spike Feeder, no good. All right, I think we start by putting a counter onto the Ballista. Kill the Revoker. Nice. They're going to let us untap our land? They shouldn't. They let us untap our land. Okay, tap it for mana, untap it again. Hey, Dr. Stacks. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so we have a total of 5 mana here. We could Ranger-Captain and what? I don't think Ranger-Captain is going to be too hot. Because we need Heliod here. So I think we probably just play... I kind of like playing the Ranger so that we can tap 2 mana for the Leonin Arbiter. Yeah, I like that. Okay. We are going to have to try and keep our time in mind. We are up 1 game, but we have 10 minutes left to finish this game and potentially play another one. Oh, here's a problem. I have to pay the mana for the Arbiter now. Good thing we remembered. Thank you. Unfortunately, that does mean we will not be able to play the Giver of Ruins this turn, but it also means their Ghost Quarter isn't going to be too good. They're probably going to be looking to put their Batterskull into play anyway. Yeah. So that's why they weren't using the Ghost Quarter that turn and allowed us to make all that mana. Yep, it's because they decided they wanted to play the Germ, but I definitely, personally, would have destroyed the forest with the Walking Ballista trigger on the stack. Okay, Skyclave Apparition, so that is going to be able to eliminate one of our cards, i.e. Walking Ballista. And indeed it does. So we might as well just use the 2 counters here to kill their Giver of Ruins, because we're not going to be able to get a token out of a Walking Ballista on a Skyclave Apparition. Okay, so they're going to give their Germ Pro white. No big deal. 0/0 tokens don't stick around very long. What combos in particular? Okay, just a land. So we might as well play out our hand here. Oh, it's a clue. Okay, Spike Feeder is going to allow us to grow our other creatures. So, for example, let's see here, we have 2 mana. So we could grow our Ranger-Captain to a 4/4, our Skyclave to a 3/3. Oh, through the breach. That's pretty good, Sapphire. Okay, Stoneforge Mystic. They're going to be able to go get Maul and then immediately put the Maul onto their Germ. So they're going to be able to do quite a bit of damage over a short period of time while gaining life. So if we don't find Heliod, we're toast. It's going to take 2, maybe 3 turns. And, oh, we can't actually search with the Heath because of the Arbiter here. So we only have 1 mana available. But it also means that they can't equip the Maul. Okay, so no fetch for us. They are attacking with the 4/4, so no blocks. We'll go to 10. Let's see what we can find on the top. Another Windswept Heath. Alright, might as well just pass here. Can't do anything to their life total. Yeah, Heliod gets us infinite life. There's the Maul. What are they going to put that on? Okay, makes sense. They put it right on the Germ. So we need to draw a Heliod off the top this turn. Okay, let's pay the mana for the Arbiter. And start fetching. Thin the deck. Alright, what do we get? Another land off the top. So we're dead? Don't think we're going to want to change anything, though. So we might as well just submit. What do we got here? 2 basics, call, like another really slow hand here. It doesn't really lead anywhere. I mean, we could turn 2 call for Heliod, turn 3 Spike Feeder, turn 4 Heliod, but I think we can do better with a 6. Not much better. This hand's kind of garbage too. I think I need to throw this one back too. I mean, we have mana, but we have no spells. Okay, here we go. We can keep this. We gotta throw 2 cards back. Probably Giver and Feeder. So we can collect a company on turn 3. Definitely the Giver. I don't really want to get rid of my lands. So we'll just do that. I know. Not great, but let's work with it. I can definitely say I'm pretty happy to not be a member of the United States right now. Hopefully things get better. Alright, so we got the Utopia Sprawl, Arbor Elf, collect a company thing on turn 2. Let's do that. We get Spike Feeder, Conclave Mentor, and Ranger-Captain. Ranger-Captain goes and gets us Walking Ballista. Conclave Mentor gives us a 3/3 Spike Feeder. And if we get a Heliod, gives us some pretty nice stuff to do. Unfortunately, the Mentor does not trigger the extra counter on the Spike Feeder when they both come into play at the same time. But every time I move a counter around with mana, that is going to be producing extra power and toughness. Yep. Donald did make some poor decisions. I think that a lot of people would agree with that. Yep, hopefully the future seems all the brighter for the shit we just slogged through. Okay, they have the Path to Exile for the Spike Feeder here. So we don't have any mana available. We might as well just go ahead and gain 2 life. And then take the land. Well, I mean, the COVID has been mutating the entire time it's been among us, right? It's just how scary are the mutations? All right, so we can draw a card, or we can attack with a 2/2 Arbor Elf. Or a 2/3 Arbor Elf. I'm more interested in drawing a card here. Still have a ton of mana if we find a spell on the top. We find Path to Exile. Okay. Let's go ahead and attack for 2. Don't want to lose my Arbor Elf to a Giver of Ruins here. And they did have the Giver. Good thing we did not attack with the Arbor Elf. Okay, we have 5 minutes left. Ranger-Captain, okay. So with Ranger-Captain, we can go get Walking Ballista. Conclave Mentor makes Walking Ballista fairly good. The problem is the Aether Vial could put in a, what's name? A cat. But we have the Path to Exile for that. Let's make a 3/3 Ballista. And we'll pass the turn. I suppose we might... Should we attack with a Conclave Mentor here? I'm not sure that we need to. Because they could put in something, and we could lose our Conclave Mentor. I want to keep the Conclave Mentor to keep pumping that Ballista up. Okay, they do have the Leonin Arbiter, which means they can field one of these 2 lands, Pendelhaven and Temple Garden. But they're going to lose a land for us losing a land. That's a fair trade. I'm totally fine with that. Well, it looks pretty solid at the moment. Our Walking Ballista kills their Giver of Ruins, and then we can start attacking in for damage. This could be an answer to the Walking Ballista, however. Okay, it is. So we're going to kill the Giver of Ruins. They can give the Arbiter Pro White if they want, that's fine. And then the last damage we'll put at their face. We have just over 4 minutes now. Okay, they do play another land in the Shephet Dunes, and they have the Path to Exile for our Conclave Mentor. Okay. They have 1 card left in hand, we have 1 card left in hand. We have the mana advantage. Cannot block here as Pro White. And we have just under 4 minutes left on the clock. Gotta play fast. Walking Ballista off the top, okay. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I think I'm going to leave the Walking Ballista here as a 3/3 and then activate it when I have to. Another Aether Vial. They have 1 card left in hand. Don't expect any attacks here. Okay. Ranger-Captain. Interesting. I think making the Walking Ballista bigger is a pretty good plan here. If they block it or block the Ranger-Captain with 2, we can maybe kill some stuff. But they do have Aether Vial on 3 here, so they could still surprise us with something pretty good. Okay, so they're going for block. No token. We only have 2 mana left, so we can't get the Ranger-Captain out, but we do have access to Path to Exile. Okay, they have Sunbaked Canyon, allowing them to draw a card. Get some gas in the tank. Looks like they didn't find something they want to play immediately. And they're passing back to us. Okay. Let's put another counter on Walking Ballista. And we'll leave up Path. Attacking for 8 here. Okay, they probably have the answer to the Walking Ballista right now. Yeah, the Skyclave Apparition. So that will answer the Walking Ballista. We'll go for face here. And we could kill the Apparition. I think I'm just going to keep going for face. This Ranger-Captain can go get another... No, we're out of Walking Ballistas. No more Walking Ballistas. And we have just under 2 minutes now. So our Ranger Captain isn't going to get anything of value, but it is still a 3/3, which is bigger than most of their dudes. And we have the Pendelhaven to attack with Arbor Elf. Opponent's only at 10 life, so 2 swings with Arbor Elf plus Ranger Captain, and we can play the Ranger Captain while we're at it. Okay, we now have access to our Giver of Ruins. What do we get off the top? Spike Feeder. Okay. Not too hot on the Spike Feeder. They have a Thalia. Okay. We'll attack. Thanks, Slayer. I hope to get there. Put them to half their life total here. And we'll play another Ranger Captain. Yes, indeed, I am. Definitely doing some more work tonight. So even though I'm losing time on the clock here, I want to keep my Giver of Ruins available to protect my creatures from any of their answers, but I'm hoping to win on this swing. Another Arbor Elf off the top. Come on, deck. All right, so I think we just attack with everything besides the Giver of Ruins. Zealous would be interesting. Would also give you access to Thoughtseize. All right, what do they got? They got something. Nope, we win. Okay. All right, so I've got a bunch of 3-drops. Nothing to do on turns 1 and 2. I'm going to mulligan this. This hand is slightly better. We will keep and get rid of one of the Heliods. Blood Crypt from the opponent, but they aren't playing Luris. Utopia Sprawl is pretty nice. We'll start with basic Forest Arbor Elf. And if we're lucky, next turn we'll be casting Collected Company. Pretty unlikely, though, considering the Blood Crypt from the opponent. And their 7 cards in hand. They should have a Lightning Bolt or a Fatal Push for the Arbor Elf here. Oh, Dreadbore. Okay. Spend your 2 mana for my 1. That's fine. And we get another Heliod. Good thing we binned one. I think we just Utopia Sprawl here. And we can do it without spending a life, so let's do that. Okay, Inquisition, they're going to be able to take our Spike Feeder. But hopefully we'll be able to Collected Company coming up if we draw a land. Spooky Skeletons. What kind of spooky skeletons do we have? There's got to be a couple good ones in Magic. Skelemental, I guess. Okay, we do not get the land. We can play Heliod or we can play Arbor Elf. Yeah, this is probably a Skelementals deck. That's what we're playing against. Okay. think we probably just play the Heliod here. It's not something that they can easily kill. Okay. Haven't spent much time playing against Magmatic Channeler, so I've been trying to figure out exactly how the card works. They're going to ask us to discard a card here. We will discard the extra Heliod. And hope we find land off the top so we can collect a company. No land. Okay. So we have the choice of playing Ranger-Captain or Arbor Elf. Ranger-Captain means that if they go ahead and sacrifice, or make us sacrifice a creature, at least we got some value out of it. And if they want us to discard a card, we'll just discard Arbor Elf and hold on to collect the company. Alright, thanks a lot for sticking around, Blind MTG. Hope you have a good time. See you around. Alright, so we might as well just go ahead and get Walking Ballista. We're part way to the combo. We're just missing mana. So I can see that this is a deck that you're going to want to spend quite a bit of time. You're going to want to invest quite a bit of time into figuring out how this deck is supposed to work. Ooh, the Lightning Bolt for the Ranger-Captain here. Because of how the combo is going to ask you to invest a lot of time into gaining life, I think that you're going to have to make your decisions quite quickly. Oh, a Blood Moon from the opponent. That's quite good. For them. Ours. Our deck. Okay, we got the land. So we can go ahead and collect a company now. We could also Walking Ballista, but that's not going to get us much of anywhere. Ugh, not great. That's what you get for playing Collect a Company. They're going to be able to make us discard the Walking Ballista here, which means we only have one more left in the deck. The Graftland would be interesting. I do believe it comes into play tapped, which is a bit of a problem. The deck is mana hungry. Pyromancer, yep. So they get to pay 3, draw 2 cards. They get to ask us to discard our Walking Ballista. They also have the ultimate ready to go now. So they're going to be able to separate our permanents and finally get rid of our Heliod. And we get land off the top. No. Walking Ballista needs to be at 2, because if it's at 1, you use it, and then it dies before the Heliod trigger can put the +1/+1 counter onto it. They probably just, what, end here? Oh, they're giving us the Arbor Elf as well? So they give us all creatures or all lands. I guess I have to take the land pile. Oh, that was a punt. Player sacrifices the permanents of the pile of their choice. I had not meant to do that. Ah, well. Doesn't look like we were going to be winning this game anyway. We've already lost our basics. Alright, this is a silly game. I'm moving on. Gotta save that time. Definitely bringing in Auriok Champion here. Veil of Summer could be good. They're running like Thoughtseize and stuff. Path to Exile does have hits. Scavenging Ooze seems okay here. Skyclave Apparition seems okay as well. You like Rest in Peace? Makes sense. I don't want to go too heavy on Rest in Peace. I'm definitely willing to bring in one, but like 2 Rest in Peace should be reserved for Dredge and decks that heavily rely on the graveyard. I definitely do not want to have like 2 Rest in Peace in my hand. Ooh, I don't know how you can say that. Choke is always good. Yeah, I know, right? Alright, what do we got here? Utopia Sprawl, that we cannot cast onto our lands, but if we find a land we can put it onto, this hand seems fine. Do not like the 2 Horizon Canopies here. Hopefully we find a forest off the top. Definitely not the best hand I've seen. Far from it. Might have been worth it to go down to 6. Nope, never heard of it. Okay, opponent has the Thoughtseize here. They get to see our terrible hand. They're having a hard time choosing between all the bad cards. And end up taking Ranger-Captain, one of our best. Hey, there's the forest we were looking for. So we have all the mana now. Just not really anything to do with it. We can put our Conclave Mentor, Giver of Ruins down, though. Name white. And we might be looking at sacrificing these canopies fairly soon so that they don't get locked into mountains through the opponent's Blood Moon. But our mana is looking pretty good here. Yeah, Fatal Push, actually for the Conclave Mentor instead of the Giver of Ruins here. Good day to dodge Pyroclasm. And Pithing Needle, probably naming Arbor Elf, but it could name Giver of Ruins. I more often see the Fiery Cannonade nowadays, but that's because I play Pauper. Okay, they do indeed name the Giver of Ruins. And we get land off the top. Okay. Let's go ahead and start with drawing one card. Getting rid of, I think, a white mana. No, we should get rid of a green mana. Okay, Skyclave Apparition. We can Skyclave the Pithing Needle. Not a great target, but it does give us access to our Giver of Ruins again. We could attack here, but I'm not too into attacking for one, when instead I could just hold the Giver of Ruins back and be able to... Oh my god. That's brutal. Okay, Dreadbore on the Giver. Nothing I can do to protect it. And we get Heliod. Okay. So let's see here. We can play the Heliod, give the Skyclave Apparition lifelink, make it a 3/3. I think... Yeah, we have to use the Arbor Elf in order to do that. Make it 3/3. Play a Temple Garden tapped. They already knew about the Temple Garden, so no reason to hold it in hand. Okay, here's a Pyromancer with one card in hand. So they'll be able to make some dudes. No, they discarded a land, so they get their 1/2/2 and 2 cards in hand. Ah, just a snow-covered forest, lame. All right, let's start by drawing a card, I think. Another land. All right, in that case, we'll play the Heath so we can get basic plains. And we'll attack with our 3/3. I imagine they'll block here so they can make some 1/1 tokens with the Pyromancer, but they don't. So we'll give the dude lifelink. And hope they don't have Lightning Bolt here. And we'll get our Apparition out of Lightning Bolt range. And I guess we just pass the turn here. I've always found that Pauper gets back to like the roots of Magic, where your colors feel like they're actually a member of the color pie. Okay, so they're getting rid of the Arbor Elf here with the Lightning Bolt. And they have a Thoughtseize, so they'll lose 2 more life to see our forest. We're drawing really good opponent. And they're drawing quite well as well. Let's go ahead and fetch. Get that snow-covered plains we were talking about earlier. And we get Conclave Mentor. Okay, so we'll put the Conclave Mentor into play, and that'll allow us to pump our creatures at twice the rate. So we'll attack here, and we'll put the counters onto the Conclave Mentor. Oops, this one. So now we'll have 2 4/4s. That Skyclave Apparition didn't hit a great target, but it has been doing quite a bit of work. Okay, another Seasoned Pyromancer means they draw 2 more cards. Means they have a blocker. Fatal Push is quite good. Lightning Bolt, not so much. Prismatic Vista. Yeah, we need to get Monarch out of the format. Especially Fall from Favor. But we could just take the keyword out of the format entirely. Yeah, I know, it would make a lot of people disappointed, but I think it would be the best thing for the health of the format. Personally, I really enjoy playing with Monarch. I think it's great when you have it, but it is miserable when you don't. Okay, they have the Abrade here, so they're going to be able to kill our Conclave Mentor. We'll gain 4 life and put another set of tokens onto the Apparition here. Yep, you're right, Slayer. Some new cards did get printed into the format, specifically some new Monarch cards. Fall from Favor is busted in half. Should never have been printed in Common, but it was. So I've been having a lot of fun playing the card before it gets banned. So opponent's grinding us here. That's fair. The format's in a weird place right now, like I was saying. Hopefully, we get to keep the rest of the cards from that format, because some of them were quite good. The big Cascade cards. Why don't you put counters on Heliod? I definitely could. I've just been trying to get my my Apparition out of range of whatever they're trying to do to it, so they can't even double bolt it right now. Eladamri's Call. Okay, so let's see. If they have 1 card in hand, put them on Utopia Sprawl. So let's see here. That's 1, 2, and then we have 3, 4, 5 mana left. I think we're missing 1 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Goes to 5, and we need 6 mana. So yeah, this is not lethal. However, we could put a 2/2 Walking Ballista onto the board. Ooh, Ranger-Captain. Yeah, we should go get Ranger-Captain. Yeah, Ranger-Captain. Okay. Oh, and we could have played with the Heliod too. Okay, so that was my mistake. We could have attacked with the Heliod. I've had the Heliod active so few times, I wasn't thinking about making it a creature. We could have also triggered the Ranger-Captain on their upkeep, so they could not have taken the Walking Ballista from us. But I think we still have a pretty good board here. Let's keep that Ranger-Captain going. Oh, we get the Collected Company now? Okay. Okay, so they have the Fatal Push for the Skyclave Apparition, which is going to make the Heliod not a creature. Let's go ahead and cast the Collected Company. Should be good. You just concede to this, right, opponent? There we go. Okay. So we had a very mediocre hand, but our first draw was really, really good. This hand is pretty awkward. All right, well, thanks a lot for stopping by. Thanks a lot for all the advice. And hope you have a good sleep. All right, thanks for the follow, too. Doll of Cutie, what's up? Can you put the Blight Beetle up in chat? I believe it would. I'm going to risk this one. We can get Utopia Sprawl onto a forest even through their Inquisition, but we really need to draw a land in the first two cards. The Ranger Captains are pretty good, being able to replace themselves once I play them with a Walking Ballista. All right. So we did take quite a while deciding if we wanted to keep our hand. I'm not too surprised if our opponent would have stepped away from the keyboard for a little bit, or they could be considering how they want to play out their first turn. I've definitely been known to spend a minute figuring out which card I want to play, which order I want to play them in. All right, we're going to go get Basic Forest here, and then Utopia Sprawl white. Yeah, if you're looking to fight Heliod with a sideboard card, you might look at Reign of Gore. Damn, no land. Well, that was our risk. We kept a one land hand, and we did not find land off the top in two draws. We do still have access to 3 mana, though, so we can start apparating their permanents. Yeah, Archangel and Spike Feeder are something special. That's old school. I think that used to be one of the Birthing Pod combos, wasn't it? Engineered Explosives on 1, which gets rid of our Utopia Sprawls. Sad. Yeah, that's a GG. 'Cause, 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 ' No land off the top, I'm conceding. No lands, we will mull. One single forest. Can't play any of the cards in our hand. We're going to mull again. A little bit frustrating that we just came off of a bad land keep, and now we got another one, but it is what it is. From the Crypt, thank you for the follow. Okay. So, we have a hand we can keep now. We have to get rid of 2 cards, I think. So, let's see here. We get rid of one of the Conclave Mentors. And then what? I think I get rid of land and hope to draw some more lands. Okay, I think we'll just play Temple Garden tapped and pass. What? Concealed Courtyard, not a card you see very often. So get rid of our Heliod. Okay, we don't want to show them the snow-covered forest, just because we don't need to give them that kind of information. We'll just go ahead and get a basic Plains and play Conclave Mentor. Sweet emote work there. Grimclimb Pathaway. And a Collective Brutality. Okay. And I gain no life. Interesting. Okay, we got a Spike Feeder off the top. I think I want to play the Ranger-Captain here, though. Slightly worse if we draw Heliod off the top. I doubt our opponent could beat us if we had Unbound Life. But I really have no idea what exactly they're doing. Tidehallow Sculler. Okay, that's going to take one of our cards away from us. Probably the Walking Ballista. Yup. And we get Prismatic Vista. Alright, let's go ahead and attack. Hit him for 3. Do not see them blocking here. And then we'll play definitely the Spike Feeder. But I'm actually considering holding the Prismatic Vista in hand here. We can't do anything with the mana yet. So they might see the card in hand and try and Thoughtseize us or throw down another Tidehallow Sculler. Oh, they have a Godless Shrine untapped here, so they're going to be looking to Fatal Push the Spike Feeder. Okay. So they are deadly afraid of us gaining Unbound Life. We know that. There's the Inquisition. Okay. So we got them to waste a card by holding the land in hand. That's what we were looking for. They attack because they're not looking to block. And it's our turn again. Ooh, Scavenging Ooze, though. What is this? They're not going to, like, make me discard a card, are they? Okay. I should have actually used the ability with in response to the Kaya's Guile there. But they don't have any land left, so it's not that much of a punt. Let's see here. So they have no creatures in their yard, but I have plenty. Let's go ahead and eat a Conclave Mentor. And I think we pass here with the Scavenging Ooze at 3. We don't need to worry about Lightning Bolt from the opponent, so we don't have to play around that. Sword of Feast and Famine. Look at that. Beautiful. Gotta love that mud brown on artifacts. That's special. Okay, that is going to be difficult to race. Let's get the, whatever, the Heliod, I guess. Doesn't matter. Arbor Elf off top. That's a useless card. But we can play it. Gonna smack him for 6 here. Or nothing. Ooh, that's cool. I mean, it costs them nothing. Exactly nothing to print these, so why not, right? Okay, that is going to be able to block our Scavenging Ooze forever. Okay, another Tide Hollow. No targets. Okay, they're attacking now. Oh, I guess they can switch the equipment back and forth. So this is going to be quite good for them. Yeah, they can switch the sword over to the other sculler and still have a blocker up. Go ahead and start eating some of the cards from their graveyard, because why not? Okay, we get a Heliod. Not bad. That does mean that we might have screwed up a little bit with the Scavenging Ooze there, because we can no longer gain life, which would have been making all of our creatures large. But we definitely still want to put this into play, so they can't make us discard it. And it means that Walking Ballista or Spike Feeder are basically GG. Okay, we have no blocks because all of our creatures are green. We usually have some white critters, but no such luck. Eat the Lingering Souls now? Okay. Before they get to untap their mana. Makes sense. Thanks for the tip. I might have missed that, just because I'm trying to play quick, and I am a little bit on tilt. Ranger-Captain, okay. So we can get the Ranger-Captain and then put the Walking Ballista onto the board, just as a 1/1. Alright, so during the opponent's upkeep, we could activate the Ranger-Captain, but I'm not sure that that is viable because their removal spells are going to be just as good on my turn as they are on their turn. And the Ranger-Captain has the power to block. But we are quite close. We could Ranger-Captain on our upkeep, eat the Ranger-Captain with Scavenging Ooze. Oh no, they have the Blood Chief's Thirst for the Walking Ballista. And that's a sorcery, so that's one of the reasons the Ranger-Captain on their upkeep would have been a good idea. Okay, so we get to kill one of their cards. I guess their Spirit. Because we can't put another counter on it to kill the Sculler. But this does mean that we can make our Ranger-Captain into a 4/4. Which could block and kill this Sculler. Is that worthwhile, though? Yeah, that seems pretty good. Oh, they have the Inquisition to take it. Still seemed like a 2-for-1 to me. Unfortunately, they have the mana left to put the Sword of Feast and Famine back on. We just get Canopy off the top. Let's go ahead and draw a card immediately. Eladamri's Call. Okay. So with Call, we would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. We could go get a 1/1 Walking Ballista, make it a 2/2 Walking Ballista, but we still wouldn't have the mana to combo out. Oh, we're already out of Walking Ballistas. We have no more Walking Ballistas. So maybe we just go get Spike Feeder. Oops, cancel that. Save targets, always yield. I mean, yes and no. Opponent cannot beat this, but they can still clock us out. And we lost game 1, so we have to win 2 games. So I'm just going to do this for a little while. We're going to gain a bunch of life so that if the opponent has an answer the next time I try and Spike Feeder, we don't just die to them swinging a few times. And we still have 15 minutes for 2 games. So I think if I get to about 100 life, that should be fine. But in paper here, I would stop at 1,000,000. Okay, just a few more activations here. 100 life. Okay, pass turn. Okay, so Conclave Mentor is game here. What else? Pendelhaven. That's not what we were really looking for here. Probably could have kept that in hand. No, because they could just make me discard with Tidal Sculler. I think I just pass here. Okay, they destroy the Pendelhaven. I'll go get another white mana. Snow-covered plains. Oh, opponent's got the same land. Castle Lochthwain. Not a card you see too often in Modern, but a fantastic Magic card, nonetheless. Really? Oh yeah, I guess they can put the sword onto the Shambling Vent and start gaining life themselves. But this does take sword off the table for blocks. So we're going to be able to attack with the Scavenging Ooze now. Oh no, sorry. Because of the Sword of Feast and Famine activation, of course. They get to untap all their lands. So they have plenty of mana to move that sword over. But we got the Conclave Mentor. Going to start by activating the Scavenging Ooze and putting a counter on the Spike Feeder here. And this should be game. Alright, so we have 3 attacking creatures. They have 2 blockers. Actually, 4 attacking creatures. Let's just go ahead and attack. This should be GG. Doesn't matter which creature you block, opponent. Okay, so first thing, turn off auto yields. Target Arbor Elf. Save target. Always yield. Okay, now we just make this dude big. Okay, opponent doesn't have enough here, so let's turn off the auto yields. We've shown them how we're going to kill them, but they haven't conceded yet. Let's make the Spike Feeder bigger. Save targets, always yield. Okay, we'll turn off auto yields again, switch. Target this Arbor Elf. Save targets, always yield. Makes it a little bit quicker in the long run to hit those yields there, those automatic yields. Okay, that should be enough. Yeah, opponent was timing us out. Or trying to run down our clock as much as possible. Some people do that on Modo, and that is their right. It's part of the game as was developed. We have a chess clock. Don't really appreciate it for these kinds of decks, which is one of the reasons why I generally avoid playing this style of deck. But there it is. So we didn't do any sideboarding. Was that our game 1? I think that was actually our game 1 there. Veil of Summer seems okay. That was game 2, so we just didn't sideboard the first time? Because we got 4 Collected Companies in our deck. Now you know how I feel all the time. I definitely like Apparition. It's going to be able to take the opponent's swords away from them. I mean, we definitely did do a mull to 5 game 1. Alright, we only have a minute left for sideboard, and I can't look at that right now. Gotta take some cards out. Scavenging Ooze actually seems good. Spike Feeder combo wins the game. I brought in Creature, so I don't want to take out Collected Company. Almost out of time here. Alright. I've submitted as is because I was running out of time. Veil, I think, would have been quite good. Okay, so we have a 1-land hand, but we're on the draw, and we have Arbor Elf and Utopia Sprawl. We're going to keep. It probably is. I just wasn't, just didn't have enough time to give it the proper consideration it deserved. Alright, land off the top is what we're looking for, so we can collect a company turn 2. Opponent does have Inquisition, though, so they can take the Utopia Sprawl. That's going to be their best get. They should snap that off immediately. There it goes. Okay. Okay, Godless Shrine untapped with a Blood Chief's Thirst on our Mana Dork. So we're out of lands, out of mana, but we managed to draw one. They know we didn't have it. Conclave Mentor pass. Conclave Mentor is going to make our Walking Ballista all that much better next turn, if they both stick around. Cute. Okay, they're having no trouble with their lands, that's for sure. And here's a Liliana. Snow-covered forest. That does not cast our Skyclave Apparition. I would love to kill Liliana here, but we don't have double white. So we can play Walking Ballista and kill the Liliana, and I think that's better than doing nothing. Okay, they're destroying our Field of Ruin here, or sorry, our Horizon Canopy with their Field of Ruin. So that's going to allow us to go get basic planes. That's fine. Was just checking through the game log here, and I'm fairly confident that this is game 2. Land off the top, please. Arbor Elf, not a land. Opponent has plenty of lands and cards in hand. Collective Brutality, and they get to take the Collected Company out of my hand. Brutal. But they discard their Sword of Feast and Famine, and they're at 1 card left in hand themselves. They do have Castle Lochthwain. What do we even get with Eladamri's Call here? The only creature we would be able to play would be an Arbor Elf. And that doesn't seem very worthwhile, especially when we have Skyclave Apparitions in hand. Maybe we just pass and look for a better card end of the opponent's turn. I don't know. Okay, here's a Thoughtseize. So we could Eladamri's Call for whatever, but I think we just show them the hand. Because they would just take whatever we picked with Eladamri's Call with a Thoughtseize. And as is here, they have a pretty good setup against us, but we can still draw out of this. Is definitely possible. We could play the Skyclave Apparition here, but we have no targets for it. I would target anything with it, but I don't want to play it as a 3-mana 2/2. What do you call that? A Grey Ogre? Because I think a Hill Giant was 4 mana for a 3/3. And obviously a Bear is 2 mana for a 2/2. Another land. And no target for the Skyclave Apparition again. We could play it so it doesn't get hit by like Thoughtseize or Inquisition, but it doesn't even block the Shambling Vent. Okay, here's a Heliod. Let's go ahead and play that. It'd be difficult for the opponent to get rid of now that it's on the board. I imagine opponent probably has Skyclave Apparitions of their own, though. Why wouldn't they? This would be a good reason to have played the Skyclave Apparition before now, so I could attack with it as a 2/2, give it lifelink, and then make it a 3/3. Also, if opponent has Liliana, they're just going to be able to take it out of our hand by ticking up, whereas if it was on the board, they would have to tick down to get rid of it. So there are definitely reasons to have played this Skyclave Apparition before now. Batterskull. Just throw it on the board. Okay, we cannot apparate the Germ, and we cannot apparate the Batterskull. Ranger-Captain's pretty good, though. Do we have any Walking Ballistas left in our deck? We do. One, two, three, four. So we're missing one more land in order to win the game. I gotta think more about these Ranger Captains sacrificing during the opponent's upkeep. Because, yeah, they got Fatal Push here. I mean, that wouldn't have made any difference anyways. Could have dealt 1 damage to the Germ here to make them think twice about attacking. But, I mean, they could just return the Batterskull to their hand, so it wouldn't have been much of a roadblock, and I would have lost my Ranger Captain that way. And Ranger Captain does a pretty good job. Oh no, the Skyclave Apparition takes the Heliod here. Okay, so we can apparate their Apparition, and that'll at least give us a 3/3 token. Deck just giving us lands off the top here. No attacks. Still have just under 9 minutes. Probably. We're having a really hard time getting past that germ. And we're missing a couple of cards. At least. Okay, Swift End on the Skyclave Apparition, giving them a 3/3 illusion. So we're going to draw a card here, see if we can find Collected Company off the top. And then we'll find out for sure whether we're on game 2 or 3. We find Collected Company off the top. Scavenging Ooze, Auriok Champion. Auriok Champion blocks the germ for days. And Scavenging Ooze can gain a bit of life. Not the worst. Might as well keep playing, I guess. Oh, here's a Skyclave Apparition. That'll probably get rid of Scavenging Ooze, but it might hit Auriok Champion. Okay, they are getting rid of the Auriok Champion. We'll be able to start blocking the germ next turn then. And we can make our Scavenging Ooze into a 4/4 to block the illusion. Oh, no, wait. The Utopia Sprawl is on white. We can only make it a 3/3. So we'll have to block the illusion with the illusion. Ooh. Okay, I accidentally clicked. So we're in combat now. I am going to want to apparate their apparition, but I don't think I can attack. I couldn't attack anyways, right? Could get rid of their Murderous Rider. Let's make a token. Would like to have a chump for the germ, if possible. And we'll pass. Opponent plays a land, but they do have Loch Thwain to draw cards. Okay. Only got 7.5 minutes left on my clock, and 20 minutes left of smoothie time. So definitely cutting it close. Okay, so they have 6 total there, and I have 7 here, so we can start attacking with Skoos. Maybe that's wrong. They have the Shambling Vent here. How many creatures do I have left in the graveyard? Okay, they didn't take the bait. They might have been able to block with everything there, and I would have been in trouble. As is, I am still in trouble. But the Auriok Champion is quite a good get there. Okay, they're going to lose a life to draw another card. They're going to be able to do that basically every turn. Lingering Souls. That's a problem. But because of the Auriok Champion triggers here, let's see here, turn off auto yields. I can Scavenging Ooze the Lingering Souls, before they can cast it again. Always yes, always yield again. Okay, here's a Liliana. They're going to be able to get us to sacrifice our illusion. Okay. Another Auriok Champion. Don't mind if I do. So we're pretty committed to this grindy game right here. We have, however, basically run out of life, so the opponent is going to be able to put the Batterskull onto their spirits, start attacking in the air. That should definitely be what they do here. Looks like that's what they're doing. Yep. No blocks for flying creatures. And we're not gaining any more life here. Horizon Canopy, let's go ahead and use it to draw a card. Heliod. About time. So that should gain us 2 life, which will allow us to make the Ranger-Captain of 5/5. And we have Conclave Mentor left in the graveyard to grow the Scavenging Ooze as well. And that will also grow the Ranger-Captain, making it a 6/6. Okay, opponent has no cards in hand, but they were hesitating there. Alright. Give Ooze lifelink, that seems good. Okay. Think we might have turned the corner here. We gotta sacrifice a creature. I think we get rid of one of the champs, so we don't give them an illusion. Don't want to give them extra blockers, if we can help it. Okay, they draw a card, go to 8. We still have 5 minutes on our clock. That Heliod was just an amazing draw for us. Okay, they're going to attack for 5 lifelink. Nothing we can do about that. But we're gaining way more than they're attacking for. Collected Company. Unfortunately, we used our white mana by mistake there. But it shouldn't be a problem. Okay, any order. Skyclave Apparition, target Murderous Rider. Okay. Yes. Do we have a Walking Ballista left? We do not. I guess we'll get the Arbor Elf because we can't play the Giver of Ruins this turn. Play the Arbor Elf, that'll get us some more life. Ooh, okay, it's just the Shambling Vent. I thought that was something scary for a second. They will be able to make blocks, but all blocks are lethal for their creatures. They just lose everything. They have one card left in hand. Castle Loch Thwain puts them to 2 cards in hand, 17 life. But I don't know what they could possibly have here besides Damnation. Should have definitely used the Ranger Captain so that we wouldn't have to worry about Damnation. Alright, so that was a 2-0. So we finally know that it was only 2 games, not 3. Did manage to get the 3-2 on our first league with the Heliod combo. Highly recommend this deck to anyone that wants to play Modern. It is a trial to play on Modo, however. Much, much easier to play on paper. However, playing it on Modo is going to give you a very good idea of how all the cards interact with each other, how all the triggers stack, etc., etc.